Okay, let's get into it. You came to us with a really specific question. What is the ultimate competitive advantage? How do you thrive when everyone else is, just trying to hang on?
And we went through all the material you sent over, and they all kept circling back to this one single idea, a concept that really, it totally reframes how you should think about stress.
So today we are launching a deep dive into anti-fragility. It's a term coined by Nassim Taleb. And for a good reason, there just wasn't a word in English for this concept.
Right.
It's the opposite of fragile. But if you're thinking, oh, so it's just resilience, you're missing the entire point. And that difference is what's really actionable here.
Exactly. Resilience is you get knocked down, you get back up. You're back to where you started. You survive.
You endure the chaos.
You endure it. But the sources are really clear on this. If you're just surviving the bad days, you've already lost the advantage.
So our mission today is to, well, completely flip your perspective on volatility. We need to get you from just tolerating chaos to actually benefiting from it.
Right. You shouldn't just be weathering the storm. You should be engineering yourself to, literally feed on it.
Okay, to really get this, we have to start with the basic taxonomy that the sources lay out. Think of it like 3 different kinds of packages.
And how they react when they get dropped or kicked around.
Exactly. The first one is the one we all know, fragile. This is your champagne glass, the antique vase. You slap a big handle with care sticker on it.
Because any unexpected stress, any shock.
And it breaks. It just shatters. It wants calm. It needs predictability.
Then you have the second state, which is where most people stop. They think the opposite of fragile must be resilient.
The steel box.
Right.
Oh.
The steel box. You can drop it, kick it, whatever. It resists the shock. It's undamaged. But, and this is the key thing, it's exactly the same as it was before.
It's just endured.
It just endured. Which brings us to the third one.
Yeah.
The magical package.
Anti-fragility. This is the package where the label doesn't say handle with care. It says please mishandle.
Or maybe, please kick this box.
Yes. Because the contents somehow get better from the chaos. You stress it and it gets stronger or bigger or more valuable.
And that right there is the crucial distinction for you. If your goal is only resilience, you are wasting every single crisis.
You're settling for zero growth.
Exactly. You're wasting the energy of the shock. You shouldn't be bouncing back to where you started.
Yeah.
The whole point is to bounce forward.
There's a really powerful image for this from mythology, which the sources kept bringing up, the Hydra. This was a creature that basically hated peace. Its whole deal was that it thrived when it was attacked.
I remember this one. When Hercules goes to kill it, every time he cuts off one head.
To grow back in its place.
Huh.
It loved the violence. The attack was the very thing that made it stronger and more complex.
The stressor was literally the mechanism for its growth.
And what's so amazing is that this isn't just a myth. It's actually how our bodies are designed to work.
That's maybe the most compelling point in all the material, I think, that we are biologically hardwired to be anti-fragile.
You see it every time someone goes to the gym. What is lifting weights? You are intentionally introducing trauma. You're tearing muscle fibers.
You're causing damage on purpose.
Right. But the body doesn't just sit there and break. It has this incredible response.
It's a process called hormesis. The body overcompensates massively. It doesn't just patch the muscle back up.
It rebuilds it stronger, bigger, thicker than before. It's basically saying, okay, that stress might happen again, so I'm going to be ready for it next time.
So the damage becomes the instruction manual for getting better.
Which raises a huge question. If our biology is so clearly set up this way, if we literally need stress to get stronger, why do we spend so much time psychologically training ourselves to be fragile?
That is the paradox, isn't it? It's this psychological counterforce. The sources really go after this modern tendency to try and smooth out all the edges of life, to remove all volatility.
Like helicopter parenting.
Helicopter parenting, creating safe spaces where no one ever has to face real pressure or the possibility of failure.
We think we're protecting ourselves or our kids or our teams.
But the research is pretty clear that protection is precisely what makes us brittle.
It's like that bodybuilder deciding to take a year off to, save energy. It's absurd.
Of course. Their muscles don't just stay the same. They atrophy. They wither away. Without that stress, without that demand, we get weaker.
So the core message is, it's just undeniable. You need stress to grow. Volatility isn't the thing to be avoided.
It's the non-negotiable ingredient for growth. If you seek total comfort, You are actively choosing to become fragile.
Okay, so philosophy and biology are clear, but how does this actually work? Let's talk about the real world business, creating things, personal development.
Let's start with the big one the sources hit on, business and recessions. Most people see a recession as just pure destruction, a time to hide.
But the anti-fragile view is that a recession is actually a filter.
A very powerful filter. Why do companies die in a recession? Kills the fragile ones.
The ones with bad business models, too much debt.
Centralized structures that can't adapt. The recession exposes all those weaknesses. And that failure isn't just destruction. It's a necessary clearing of the market.
So what does the anti-fragile company do? Is it just about welcoming disaster? I mean, that sounds a bit simplistic.
It's a great question. No, it's not about loving a fatal shock. You don't want the meteor to hit. It's about being structured to benefit from the non-fatal shocks.
Okay.
So the anti-fragile company has cash reserves, it has decentralized teams, it has options. It survives the smaller stressors that kill its fragile competitors.
And then it's perfectly positioned to scoop up all the talent, market share, and cheap assets that are left behind.
Exactly.
Ah, okay. So it's about having lots of small failures to prevent the one big fatal one. That makes a lot of sense. You see that in tech with decentralized networks.
Precisely. One server fails, the network stumbles, but it learns and reroutes. A centralized system just collapses. The same logic applies to you as a creator. Don't run from criticism.
The bad Amazon review.
Yes, that bad review, that harsh feedback, that's a stressor. The fragile creator quits or gets defensive.
But the anti-fragile creator says, okay, what's the information here?
Exactly. How can I use this friction to make the message clearer, to make the product better? The attack actually forces you to innovate.
So it really boils down to this choice. Do you seek comfort or do you seek resistance?
And the outcomes are polar opposites. The person who avoids pain at all costs becomes incredibly brittle. One bad meeting, one rejection, and their whole day is ruined.
Because they haven't built up any of those mental calluses.
None. Whereas the person who seeks resistance, who takes the hard project, who puts their ideas out there to get shot down, they become anti-fragile. They see a crisis, and their first thought isn't panic.
It's good. This is going to make me better.
This is a workout.
And that shift in mindset, that brings us to the highest level of this, doesn't it? The truly psychological, almost spiritual transformation.
It does. We have to talk about post-traumatic growth.
Mm-hmm.
We all know about PTSD, post-traumatic stress, the suffering that comes after a trauma.
Of course.
But PTG, post-traumatic growth, is the other side of that coin.
Yeah.
It's this phenomenon where people who go through immense tragedy, loss, failure, disease, don't just bounce back. They emerge fundamentally better.
This is where it gets really transformative. The sources say people who experience this report, like 3 big areas of growth?
Yeah, that's right. They report much deeper, stronger relationships. They have a crystal clear sense of their priorities in life. And they have this profound new appreciation for just being alive.
So they're literally wiser, more grateful, more powerful than they could have been without the trauma.
But we have to be careful here, right? It's not about telling people to go seek out tragedy. There's a line.
That's the crucial nuance, yeah.
It is.
It's not about seeking out a life-ending disaster. It's about how you manage your response when the inevitable fire comes.
As one of the articles put it, when the fire comes, the fragile person is just consumed by it.
But the anti-fragile person uses that fire to forge steel.
And that forging metaphor is so perfect because it's an active process. Steel doesn't just get hot. It's pounded, it's shaped, it's cooled, it's intentional.
You have to engage with the stressor. You can't run from it.
Which brings the challenge right back to you, the listener. You have to stop wishing for an easy life. Stop praying for calm seas.
I loved that line from the material. Calm is for stagnant water. If you want to be dynamic and growing, you have to be a rushing river, constantly hitting rocks and changing course.
So let's wrap this up with a very direct call to action, taken straight from the source material. Right now, identify a stressor in your life.
A tight deadline, a tough conversation you've been avoiding.
A financial pinch, anything.
Yeah.
Now stop looking at it as a threat that you just have to survive.
Look at it as a workout.
Exactly.
Right.
See it as a workout designed specifically to strengthen your weakest points.
And then you have to ask yourself the anti-fragile questions. Don't ask, how do I make this go away?
Ask, how can I use this pressure to grow a second head?
How do I use this to get smarter or faster or more efficient than I was before? Use the failure to get better. Use the criticism to get clearer.
Remember that ultimate competitive advantage. Don't just bounce back. That's just resilience. That's table stakes.
Look at every shock, every loss, every bit of resistance as the fuel for your future growth.
Bounce forward. That is anti-fragility.
And as we move into our next deep dive on influence, the sources leave you with one final thought to chew on this week. Learning to grow from chaos is the absolute foundation for influencing anyone.
Think about it. If you're not anti-fragile, if you're constantly seeking comfort and running from friction, how can you possibly lead anyone else when things inevitably get tough?
You can't stay anti-fragile.